Thank you, David.
Yeah. Morning, everybody. I'm David Gray from EOH Coastal, or Microsoft Coastal as we know it. And Izan, thank you for trying to get a view of our offices, but we're actually just around this side. So, sorry guys. After seeing our colleagues from up north here, I was almost a little bit deflated and thought, let me just go sit outside and look at myself deep in the mirror and wonder why we're duplicating so much effort. But then just kind of said to myself, maybe fools never differ. Great minds think alike. You've got to remind yourself that calculus was invented independently by Leibniz and Newton. So a lot of what you're going to see here has already been covered, but possibly with a slightly different slant. Because we're doing a hell of a lot of what the Johannesburg guys are doing. And maybe we're a week late because we're coming up to Johannesburg to look at a collaboration event with our Microsoft colleagues. And this is something I've already said to Peter, we have to talk in detail. Okay, we're a system integrator. So we write fantastic products for our customers. So we use fantastic technical knowledge and skills in the cloud to create wonderful products for our customers. And we thought, are we missing a trick here? What do we have in our building blocks and in our stable that we can start creating reusable IP? And we looked at what we've had in our proven cloud development capability. We have a strong IoT cloud background. We have an improving relationship with Microsoft. Microsoft's got to focus on system integrators and people that add consumption. So you don't sell licenses anymore. They're very happy to deal with you. And we've also, through this process, started creating connections. Naveen has been quite keen connecting us with a few people, specifically with Sigfox and SquidNet. So there's a lot that we've got in our stable to look at what we can look at reusable IP, and I'll get to that. And where we are, we're around about, let's call it phase one of our solution journey, and I'll get to that in detail. But just going into a little bit of a deep dive into one of our customer examples. We've written a public infrastructure management cloud-based system for a customer based in Northwestern Europe, predominantly in the Benelux countries, but also in Germany. And they're a platform provider for smart public infrastructure. So they don't own the devices either, but they engage with a whole set of device companies in Northwestern Europe with the key and objective to provide them a platform where they can monitor and control smart devices. So this is it's been live for about a year and a half, 2 years, running predominantly in Holland with millions and millions of devices, smart bins, thanks guys, stole my thunder, but also into smart street lamps, traffic controllers, or robots as the South Africans call it, and it's going to extend it. I've just found out that they've recently done a deployment to Munich airport. I don't know what they're controlling, but that's the scalability of the platform and device agnostic that the platform is. But the whole idea around why they've been in the industry for about 20 years, it's really around reducing carbon footprint and with cutbacks on budgets right across the board, right across the world, is how to operationally manage your public infrastructure and spend a lot better. So what we provided was the platform. They did the consulting, and it's really where the strength was, we found, was on cloud technology, specifically the Azure cloud and the Azure cloud stack, for the elastic scale, multi-tenancy out of the box, that kind of thing, because this is almost a white labeled platform. But once again, unfortunately, it's our customer's solution. But what the key thing is, the key outcome for the municipalities that it's been deployed for, the municipalities in Holland are on their digital transformation journey, so we've been part of that journey. Okay. I didn't realize it until this morning that I've had a play on words, but essentially we made all these lovely cloud technologies and we put our people together to make this solution happen. Nice, rich interfaces. We addressed this from a nice digital slant, started with customer journeys rather than the engineering technology. So to bring a customer journey way of putting the IoT solutions together, which also brought down the cost of change management, because the intuitive nature of how these apps work, mobile ready. So yeah, that was also a big plus in terms of the way of the design. Okay, but that's great for them. What does it mean for us? So we started chatting around, no, hell, we've got all this fantastic IP, and there's a big drive for reusable IP. The analysts are predicting that the system integrators that have reusable IP and solutions are the ones that are going to succeed in the future. So what can we do? As an organization, we're looking at multiple solutions, but in terms of the IoT space, so what use cases can we come up with? Now, we've got a very, very big footprint in financial services, and speaking to some of our short-term insurance customers, we realized, and we did some checking, and we've got this, it's an old stat, but it's still a large stat, is that in 2012, there was 3 billion rand paid out for resultant damages for geysers burst alone. So that's not just the cost of the geyser, that's the result of changing the tiles, changing the carpets, replacing the TV, that alone. Now, what happens if we, just from a proactive communication perspective, what could we do for our insurance customers to make the process better? How can they reduce that claim? If you save 10% of that claim, and now if you look, that's probably increased with the time value of money, you're talking hundreds of millions of rands. Okay? But doing it in such a way that you're also improving customer experience. Imagine if you got a telephone call, Mr. So-and-so, we've picked up that your geyser is about to burst. We're from your short-term insurer. Is it okay if we send out a field agent to come and have a look and repair it, or fix it or replace it before the thing goes?
No, we want new carpets.
No, you want new carpets. Analytics will allow fraud and collusion. That should be picked up anyway, because we'll see that the thing wasn't about to go anyway. But also, when you have resultant claims, your resultant damage claims, the claims process is expensive. It drags out for months. Now, if you can reduce that, you're also giving an operational efficiency in terms of the admin process for the short-term insurance. They've got more control over the workforce that goes out to go and do the fixes and repairs or replacements. And then, of course, the analytics capability. So what you know today, so how many claims are you reducing, but also you can start putting maps on top of that in terms of fraud, customer coverage, from the like. And geysers are only the start. We believe anything that can be connected, that we can detect. Even something like freezers. Most people have their freezers stuck in the garage, and there's tens of millions of claims every year for when the freezer packs up, and people don't notice it until about a week later. They go in and they smell the meat going off. So yeah, that's just another use case. But where are we today? So that's just a representation that we've been taking to some of our customers. So we've been going and engaging with our customers, testing the concept. The idea is not to give them a system. So we don't want to give them something that they're going to have to install and develop and things like that. We're looking at a subscription-based or a rental-based model whereby they can, either per device or in certain volume, rent it from us. Okay. And where we are today in terms of the solution, and now this is where it's almost a direct repetition, is we've, through the EOH partnership with SquidNet on the Sigfox network, which will have very shortly 85% population coverage in the country, have quite a deep footprint in terms of what we can connect to. But notwithstanding, other devices can also come with 3G, LoRa, or Wi-Fi. We can speak to those. And we've got the core architecture up. Where we're sitting down now, in fact we're sitting down tomorrow, is we're now mapping the key customer journeys to actually build in the solution. And now Microsoft is supporting us on this journey. There's a potential that they might assist us in funding. I'm pushing really hard that they do, so that we can build these key journeys together, so we can actually market it on something like the Azure store already as a white label solution to short-term insurance customers, which also potentially opens us up into the international market. And yes, then of course, I'll speak to Peter and them. The space that we need to get in is visualizations and analytics. I'll come speak to them if you guys got experience in that already. We've got some experience in that, but if you've done it in the IoT space, I'll definitely be knocking on your door. But also a key part for us is where we're quite strong in the Western Cape, also up in Johannesburg, is dealing with CRM applications and for field agent management, as well as customer servicing. And that is my story. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Well done.
Any questions?
I can help you with some of your problems.
Sure, I'll get your name at the back there. Cool, thanks, sir.